Welcome back to Wanderlust Crochet with Dana and Benji. He's making an appearance. That's so nice. And today we're talking about the Traveling Box of Joy and the Flock Fiber Festival here in Seattle. The first thing I'm going to talk to you about is I am very proud to be participating in the Joy Box going around. It's a box full of goodies sent out by Cynthia over at Cynthia's Joyful Creations, and it's just a big box full of fun stuff, and it's not all a yarny crochet kind of thing, but there is some yarn in there. But most of you know how these traveling boxes work. You take a certain number out, you need to put that same certain number back in of something else. And what I'm here to share with you are the three things that I took out of this box. And the first one is a diamond painting of these grizzlies. It's really nice. It's called Mother and Cub. And this is from Diamond Dots. And it says it's a special edition. So this may be kind of a limited run. It says exclusive design. And it says it is an intermediate kit, supposed to be all inclusive. It says 3 new dotting tools, so that may be an excitement to, I know this is going to someone. This is a gift, and I'm very excited about giving this away. So thank you to whoever, it was either Cynthia or whoever had the box last, put this in there, and I feel really good about giving this away. Okay. So I took that out. I also took out this wonderful cookbook. It's called Taste of Joy and a Little Bit of Chocolate by Women of Joy. And, you know, just like I was looking at the copyright page, and I noticed that it's co-founded, the creative team, co-founders and directors, Debbie and Phil Waldrop. They give some other credits in here. Copyright 2023. Now, what I was reading in the introduction is Phil and Debbie Waldrop, Phil Waldrop Ministries, Decatur, Alabama. And I was just flipping through here, and like here, it says, and day by day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts. Acts 2:46. And, you know, there are a couple of other little sayings at the beginning of each section, and lots of sections for this little cookbook. All, you know, table of contents, appetizers, beverages, bread, soups, just desserts, meats. And what I kind of thought of was, this is great for potluck Sundays, right? I just think this would be a great recipe book for whipping up something for our Sunday potlucks. So that's the second thing I took out. The third thing is, and this was really thoughtful, this is a package of thank you cards with envelopes, and these are going to come in really handy later this year. So what a great idea. So these are just an example of some of the things that are in the Joy Box that those who are participating in the Traveling Box of Joy, that they can look forward to great things like this. So I took 3 things out, and I put 3 things back in, and I'll be emailing Cynthia before this video goes up with some other information, and it will be forwarded on very soon to the next recipient. Okay, so if you want to be able to follow along, go check out Cynthia's Joyful Creations, which is, she's linked down below. And, you know, follow along on how this Joy Box goes throughout the country. So that's that. Now, do I look exhausted? I'm going to say that's because I am. I just had the most wonderful time at the Flock Fiber Festival. I tell you what, I am so glad that I came. There were well over 100 vendors. I don't remember seeing how many vendors there were. But it wasn't just that. It was the VIP night over at Stoop Brewery, and all the meals we ate together, and you know, our friends being there, new friendships being made, and oh, it was just fabulous. And I will show you my yarn haul here in a few minutes. But first I want to talk to you about the class I took. Now, a lot of these classes were really expensive. I took one of the less expensive classes. It was called Fiber Deep Dive with Megan Monroe. And I'm like, oh, that sounds really interesting. I'm going to pay for that and go for it. Well, then later on, I actually read the description of the class, and I'm like, are they going to tell us the difference between acrylic and cotton, or between acrylic and acrylic? I mean, did I just sign up for something that was a little elementary for $80? And we went to lunch right before I went into this class. So, and I'm saying, you know what? I doubt I make it an hour. I'll be out of there. It was a 2-hour class. I was in there less than 5 minutes, and I was texting Robin saying I'm staying for the whole class. Here's what one of the things that was, I mean, along with a notebook and a pen for everybody, there were these little ring binders, and she had taken these 3x5 cards and put them just the perfect amount in here, and they all had a little cut slit on each side, and on the front of it was the name of the fiber that she, you know, was talking about. And there's a ton of them. Now, there were no fibers in this little flip card binder when we first walked in, but she explained to us that what she was going to be doing was, as she talked about each fiber, she was going to pass out strands that go with each of these cards. And I made notes on the back sides about each of these fibers, like wool has memory, you know, just all these little notes going on the back side. And I now have this little reference notebook, and the fact that she didn't just put these strands in our notebook for us, it was part of the experience to get these strands handed out to us as she's talking about the properties of these particular fibers, and to feel it as we took the time ourselves to wrap them around each of the cards. It was a wonderful deep dive into fiber, and I really had to thank her at the end of the class, because this was worth, when you compare it to the price of some of the other classes and some of the comments that I heard about some of the other classes, if I had known before I purchased the class what it was going to be, I would have paid double for it. I would have paid $160 for this class. Megan was fabulous. Now, what she does is she's one of these, she grades wool. She goes to these large ranches, and she takes test pieces out of these, they call them when they're in the grease, when, you know, that big one piece coat of wool gets shorn off of the sheep. It's called in the grease. And she takes a test sample of that, and she grades the wool at these ranches before the wool goes to market. So a fascinating job that she has, fascinating information. And I was talking to her at the end about our crochet summit coming up in Portland, Oregon, and she's like, oh, here's my email address. I want you to tell me more about this as you get closer. I'm like, done deal. Here's something else that went on during the festival these last 2 days is I was having conversation with vendors about a couple of things besides the fact that I was, you know, buying all this yarn. I picked out some certain, first of all, I was talking to them about doing, you know, exclusive Wanderlust colors in their line, like I'm doing with Leap of Faith yarns. I think I'm doing with Leap of Faith yarns. And those yarns will be released in November, but the whole point of that is to explore, you know, opportunities with a lot of little independent hand dyers out there. And I had conversations with some great ones, especially one in Salem, you know, Portland, all over the Northwest. So that was going on. And when I explained to them what I'm doing with Leap of Faith, they're like, and telling them that my plan is to do this, you know, throw out, you know, like we're doing the November release, maybe we'll do something in the winter after Christmas, or in the spring, or, you know, next summer, whatever. And they're like, yes, here's my information, let's do this. So I was really excited how they were just like, that sounds like an amazing idea. So I got quite a few contacts for that, to start developing, you know, more colors, more Wanderlust collection color palettes for future hand-dyed yarns that you can get right here on Wanderlust. And I'm just so excited about that. The other thing I talked to a lot of them about, especially more local people, is about, okay, you're gonna hear the new name of the event for next year. Is we're looking at Rose City Crochet Summit in the Portland area next year at the Embassy Suites. We're looking at the Embassy Suites, and it is going to be a destination event in this beautiful atrium-like hotel. And anyway, I was talking to them about developing this crochet event in the Portland area next year. I'm not kidding when I say people were shoving their information at me. I have piles of these, piles of all of these, where they said, contact me as you get plans ironed out, because they all want to vend there. So that made me feel really good. I just had such an amazing experience talking to these professionals, large and small. I talked to people from Boise, from outside of London, from Ireland, from the West Coast, from the East Coast. So many people, and they were all such amazing, genuine, down-to-earth professionals. And I just want to work with all of them. I'm not sure that we're going to have room for all of them, but I just want to work with all of them. Okay, so let's get into the haul. Here is the first hank of yarn that I bought. It's, okay, so every one of these yarns is going to be a DK 100% superwash merino that is hand-dyed. And this first one was when Robin and I wonder where Robin is today. Anyway, Robin and I went to a couple of yarn shops on Thursday, and one of them is called The New Knittery. And we just drooled over everything. We had such a good time, and I ended up with this hank, and it was actually a consignment yarn, Collage Happiness. American spun and hand dyed in the USA, 100% fine superwash American merino wool. Okay, so this will be part of my granny merino blanket, which you'll have to look at some of my previous videos when I talk about my granny merino blanket. So that all the yarn that I bought this weekend was for the granny merino. So that is one of the local yarn shops we went to. Now the rest of this is from Flock. I'm trying to remember which one. Okay, which one is which? These people I want to talk to about hand dyes made by Haley Bailey Zalon. Okay, so the first day, the very first yarn that I bought was from Nano Stitch Lab, the Science of Beautiful yarn, and this color is called Coho Salmon, and it is gorgeous. I mean, everything I bought is gorgeous, just gorgeous to go in that blanket. So here is a true hand dyer and a beautiful yarn. You can check out Nano Stitch Lab hand dyed yarns. So there's that one. And the second one I bought on the first day. See, the first day was a madhouse, and I kind of hung back. I didn't get there till noon. A lot of people had been there till 10 o'clock, and it was wall to wall. What did we guess?
Oh, at least
1,000?
3,000. Oh, at least 3,000.
You think 3,000?
Yes. There was 1,000 in line when I got there.
Really?
We were 30 minutes getting through the line.
Oh my goodness. And they were quick about getting people checked in. It was fast. So they moved that line. Mm-hmm. You think there were 3,000?
I think there was 3,000.
I would love to see the statistics. So anyway, the first day was a madhouse, but it was a great chaotic day. And so I hung back, and first one I bought was that Nano Stitch. Okay, so the second one, this was a gal who's from outside of London, and it's called Pigment and Ply. And I want you guys to check her out. She was wonderful, and she was very interested in coming back over for the Rose City Crochet Summit. So, she's on the mailing list. And this is, it's called Tavy Cleave. Now, I'm not sure what that means. Tavy Cleave.
No idea.
Okay, yeah. Probably way over my head. So, anyway, that's the color name, and I love these colors. I think they're just fabulous. Fabulous. Okay, What else? What's next here? Okay, this one is, oh, and I was talking to the Nano Stitch Lab about maybe doing a color collaboration. Now this is Junisi, Junisi. Junisi?
Junisi, yes.
Junisi. Oh, okay.
Tabby Cleve is a river, is a valley carved by the River Tabby in Dartmoor National Park.
And is that in the UK? Where's Dartmoor National Park? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's over our head. Love this yarn. Love this colorway. I mean, again, we had some really talented people. This is called Space Age Love Song. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay, next one. Okay, now these gals, they're in Portland. They were lovely. Capella Luna Fibers. And this is just called Butter Yellow. And I decided I need something a little bit neutral to start smattering into some of these really great colors going into that blanket. And this is another company that I'm probably going to collaborate with on some colors, some Wanderlust collection colors. Then this pumpkin. Oh my goodness. I call it pumpkin. That is not what she calls this. Okay, so this is made by Haley Bailey, hand dyed in the Pacific Northwest. I love this color. It's called Dahlia, and it's her classic DK. And okay, so Robin never has good ideas. This had to have been my idea. So she also was selling this made by Haley Bailey. It's called Whip, work in progress, whipped hand cream. And the scent is called Peachtree. Oh my goodness. And I loved whipped hand cream. And I love that peach smell. Oh my goodness. So we were talking about, she was very excited to hand me her information so that we could talk about a color collaboration. And we're thinking with this collaboration, we would actually do a hank of, the Wanderlust collection color and a hand cream. It really was a good idea.
Not only is it a hand cream, she's going to make a specific scent.
A specific scent just for this collaboration. That's right. So very exciting. Now the last one I want to show you, I didn't have, garbage bags full of yarn, but I spent enough money. I think I spent more than enough. This is the last one, and this was from Witchfire Fibers. And this color is, I can't read, Morning Ritual. Okay, colorway name is Morning Ritual. This is what she's calling her classic DK. And again, gorgeous colors. I mean, the people that were vending here, they were all really good at their craft. Whatever they did, and there was a wide variety of products available. Whatever they did was really well done. I don't think I found real crap at any. No, I really do. Oh, there's actually two more.
I was wondering.
Yeah, duh. So, anyway, the very last one I went to was Sorella. Is that how you say it? Sorella. And I was standing there talking to her. I don't remember what I was talking to her about, probably pitching her something that I'm doing. And I had picked out this beautiful color of yarn. I mean, I just saw it from the aisleway and I went straight to it. And this is, they're from North Carolina and they're just wonderful. Hand-dyed yarn that tells a story. I love that. It's called Summer Sorbet Flock Festival 2025. So this is a Flock 2025 specific colorway, Summer Sorbet. And I think it's gorgeous. So I'm standing there getting ready to pay for that. And all of a sudden out of nowhere, Robin comes flying in with her hair sticking straight out. And she slams this down next to it on the counter. And she's like, buy this. Okay. All right. I'll buy it. And this one is called Long Live, and underneath that, underneath this one it says Flock Fiber Festival 2025. This one underneath Long Live it says Eras, ERAS Yarn Club, and it's a classic DK from Sorella out of North Carolina. So that's it.
That's it.
That's all I bought. So that's all the yarn that I came away with. Now, as you can see, I didn't go hog wild. I wasn't completely nuts in my purchasing, but I've spent a lot of money and I had to save up for this. I really did. You got the hotel, the meals, transportation, the VIP ticket, and, you know, plus entry into the event, and plus paying for yarn and all the other little extras. Yeah, it takes some saving up to do some of these events. So, plus I have to plan for the fact that I'm not going to have a paycheck this coming week. So, yeah, a little bit of planning. And I want you to know that I did take quite a few pictures, and I'm going to share all those here with you next. And there'll be a very special one in there. So that was my very first Flock Fiber Festival, and it was fantastic. It was such an experience. Of course it was exhausting, but Robin and I both just keep saying, what a great time we had. This was just so much fun. So there are a couple of festivals coming up in Oregon this year that, you know, I think you might see me at something here in the near future. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I hope you enjoyed this update. I hope you watched Cynthia and her updates on her Joy Box. And honestly, I hope to see you at the next festival I'm at. Okay? Okay, I love you guys. Bye.